Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Ange. As she mentioned, maybe we should get one of those hyphenated names now, like Tracy Angela. We'll work on it. We'll workshop it later. We'll work on it later. I'm very pleased to be here talking to you all about a project that I do work on with Angela, as well as a bunch of other people, some of which are here with us today. This is a cross-disciplinary team across different institutions, so I certainly want to acknowledge all of the hard work that they've put in to get us to this stage in the project. So essentially, we recognise that in the Reef 2050 plan that community-led stewardship is pivotal in terms of restoring and protecting our Great Barrier Reef. And some may say surprising, but I think all of you in the room here aren't so surprised if I tell you that we actually don't have a good understanding of all the different things that all the different people and groups do up and down our eastern coast to care and protect for the Great Barrier Reef. And so that's where the Protect project was born. I won't say that we identified that gap. We stand here based on some really pivotal people who have undertaken a lot of work and really advocated for this before us and championed for a greater understanding of the human dimensions in how we can do better reef decision making. But essentially what the project aims to do then is to develop a platform. And when I say platform, I want you to think a map with information and buttons, essentially. So an online platform that can be used to monitor and track community-led reef stewardship. As I mentioned, this is a collaboration, but essentially what we hope to do is develop something that reef managers, come back, that reef managers can use to understand where stewardship is being undertaken, what types of actions people are undertaking, and who is involved. To do that, we've undertaken a series of steps and asked ourselves a series of questions. The first one, of course, is what is reef stewardship? And again, I'm preaching to the converted. There is no unified definition of reef stewardship, but what we can do is look at what are all the different components that are important for us to understand how people conceptualise reef stewardship. And so that's what we've done, working in collaboration with some really fantastic people at CSIRO. We've also then gone and spoken to a lot of you. A lot of you are in this room, so thank you for all of your answering our emails and participating in interviews to this date, and asked them, okay, well, what is reef stewardship to you, and what are your needs when it comes to monitoring reef stewardship? And we've taken all of those insights and all of that information to now work with some also very clever people at QUT to look at, well, how can we collect that information and then pull it together in a platform that can work. And then, of course, we'll undertake a step to evaluate that later. So we've got two key outputs from this project. The first is, as I mentioned, a conceptual framework that thinks about what are all the different types of information that we need to understand if we're going to both monitor reef stewardship and use it to inform reef decision making. And then we'll use that to guide the development of our online platform that people can come to and use to understand the different components. So that will include, where are all the different reef stewardship programs and initiatives happening? What are they targeting? What reef assets? What threats? Who are they working with? We're working with CELTEM. I don't think Matt's in the room here, but integrating the CELTEM data to understand what are the enabling conditions of stewardship, but also then what are the things that our communities are telling us that they're doing in their homes, in their businesses, to undertake stewardship actions. And of course, what is the impact of all that? What's the impact of that having on them and on the environment? So the platform will enable them to come and tell us stories and narratives about their stewardship and what impact that's having. So what will that enable reef managers to do? Well, first and foremost, to report on the stewardship goals as articulated in the Reef 2050 plan, to understand, get a better understanding of the collective efforts of everyone who's working on reef stewardship, integrating all of that information into one place that people can go and understand the dynamics of all those different components, hopefully, if we're refunded, we'll be able to detect shifts over time. So, what we've got at the moment is a baseline, and should we be able to progress this project, we can get into that more longitude trend space. And just quickly, I want to thank our sponsors and funders. So the project is funded between the Australian Government Reef Trust and the Great Barrier Reef Foundation, and with support from the Reef Authority. Yay!
Thanks, Tracy.